Welcome to Invest. We talk about investing, finance, and professional development. As the current time of 2:50 p.m. on Eastern Time on July 8th is my second posting as of today. Respect to Ethereum currently at $1,229, down about 0.54% so far. Respect to over crypto market and the equity market, we are relatively a mixed bag again, right? Still consolidating, normalizing at the respective overall market level. And for Ethereum, we are still below the 1250 mark, which is technically the next level of resistance that we'll hit, or the next level of support of below the next level of 1350 that we technically need to get to if we sustain the bullish momentum on a technical perspective. And respect to the what's the overall market sentiment after the job numbers that came out. I actually took a snapshot of something that CNBC released earlier today. So let's just take a look. So it seems like the biggest surge, obviously this chart is very simply put, right? The biggest driver is the healthcare and social assistance. Secondly, with professional business services, which, basically the three of them, including leisure and hospitality, which also makes sense because it's summertime. But this number is going to get even bigger as we progress onto obviously July all the way to the second half of August. I think the August number is going to be even more robust than these numbers here. So it seems like we are progressing nicely on a job front, which is also the key mandates that the Fed has, right? And across the spectrum, I would say we are aligned with Wall Street expectation, despite obviously the key drivers that shows in a very prominent comparison here. We are just trending according to what we've been expecting, and when you see that alignment based on Wall Street expectation to actual numbers that came out, it drives just like kind of a normalized type of day. Combined with today's a Friday, with that weekend affectation, we just kind of normalize again, right? Just neutral across the spectrum. And so let's just dive back into the technical analysis to see what's going on right now. It seems like with respect to the overall market, we are just up or down, right, based on selective coins, which are, some of them are going to be more microly driven, on the altcoin side of the house. But on the key coins, right, just look at Bitcoin and Ethereum specifically, it's up or down about 0.5%. So it's not really, doing anything. While at the same time, the VIX, which is the volatility index, is also, depleted back down to more of a normalized level. And also with respect to oil prices, also just levitating above the flat $100 mark, right? So across the spectrum, seems like we are trying to find a bottom, or at least try to find a footing, a foundation for us to walk on. But ultimately, with respect to today's confirmatory signal from the job numbers, we still have other seismic effects that we need to kind of look out for, right, with respect to the obviously the CPI report that's coming out in basically a week from now, not even a week, like less than a week from now, and then subsequently the FOMC meeting, which we will hear from Jerome himself, right? Has the rate hikes to 75 basis point work, or we still need to do it again, or in a more of aggressive fashion as well, which is something that I hope we don't, because if we do, obviously we're going to see more pain coming. And I think with respect to the technical, I foresee that as we get closer to these specific dates that we'd already mentioned, it will, we should ideally have some sort of anticipatory pressure, right? Sell the rumor, buy the news type of affectation, or the other way around, right? And I think the technical on the daily perspective right now, as we have discussed, on my Patreon, but also with respect to on the technical videos that I do on a day-to-day basis, is that we need to ultimately cross down on an MACD front, and at the same time, we are getting canceled out at the 49 out of 70 on the RSI scale, right? So that doesn't really give me a lot of confidence that we will continue to surge in the next couple of days or a couple of weeks. And I think ideally coming down to 1150 to like possibly, if depending on how severe is the CPI report results, and also with respect to the anticipatory pressure before the FOMC meeting, and obviously the confirmatory signal. It's like we have to do that in more of a gradual, progressive manner. That selling down to even breaking below to 850, 750, all the way to 575 even can be a possibility if we see digression and also with respect to the lack of efficacy coming out from the 75 basis point. Okay. Bitcoin is at 21,500 technically. We're still surging because we are almost there, right? The level of resistance that we're going to be formed is going to be 51 or 52 out of 70. So technically we still have some room to go up to ideally 22,500, which is the level of rejection that we have seen earlier today. At the same time, we are looking to form an apex momentarily. So as we form an apex, we're going to come down from here, right? But ultimately, on a weekly and a monthly perspective, right, this is something we've discussed already, that weeks and months out, we should technically have a rebound based on the technical, right? You can see that how submerged we are, and also at the same time, we are looking for some form of reversal. You can see that it's even more severely driven on the monthly chart. Large separation, we've def crossed the shit out of it for a while. Apologies my language. We're very oversold, like about 39 out of 70 on Bitcoin. And also for Ethereum, if you look into it, I don't know what Weibo is trying to tell me right now. You can see that on Ethereum, on the monthly, it's also really dragged and also quite oversold, right? On the monthly and weekly, looking for a plateau, like a landing zone, if you may. So I think seeing some rebound, like weeks, months out, like again, I do not predict the timing. It's very logical, right? So I'm not like very depressed or think that we're gonna keep selling off from here. I think we are trying to find a landing ground, right? Which is good, ultimately. And I would say this is applicable to across all the other altcoins that we identified below right here, like Ethereum Classic, Dogecoin, Cardano, Solana, blah, 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 all the way down here. These are all trading comparably in terms of the technical, right? Just look at the weekly. Yeah, same thing, monthly. So I do like the overall market. And I think with respect to the timing, again, right, that we have a gap, right, after July FOMC meeting, we have a gap in August, which is when people are going off on vacation, including the Feds, including Jerome Powell, I'm assuming. And then after that, we will have about like 2.5 weeks within September until the next major catalyst, which is the FOMC meeting again, right? Obviously, you're gonna have some stir in between, like some news here and there, but in terms of like the seismic factor that it has comparable to like a FOMC meeting or like a CPI report, it will be it'll be less in terms of comparison, right? So appreciate you. Have a good rest of the day on this Friday, and I'll check you on the next one. Take care.